Trevor the traction engine was enjoying his work in the vicarage orchard. Birds were singing and apples were ripening in the trees. It was a lovely day. "Hello, Trevor," said James. "You look as cheerful as my red paint." "Oh, I am," replied Trevor. "What's that noise?" "It's the bees," laughed Trevor. "They live in these white boxy things called beehives. I'm taking them to the station. The vicar says they make good honey, and he's giving them to some of his friends." Just then, Boko the diesel engine arrived. "Take care, you two. Don't make the bees angry. They might sting you." James did not like being told what to do by a diesel, and he buzzed away. "Goodbye, Trevor," called Boko, and he set off to meet Duck at the next station. Bill and Ben, the twin tank engines, were happily tidying freight cars, but they scampered off when they saw Boko. "I remember the first time I met those two," laughed Boko. "They nearly made my eyes pop out, but Edward soon put a stop to their nonsense." "Edward is the only one who can keep Bill and Ben in order," chuckled Duck. "Sometimes I call them the bees." "A good name," replied Boko. "They are horrifying when they buzz around you." James bustled in. "What's that, Duck? Are you afraid of bees? They're only insects, so don't let that buzz box diesel tell you different." "His name is Boko, and he didn't. I wouldn't care if hundreds were swarming around me. I just blow smoke and make 'em buzz off." "Buzz, buzz, buzz," retorted Duck. The next morning, James puffed into the station to collect his coaches. The passengers were excited and keen to get on board. The platform was crowded, and the porter was hurrying. "Mind your backs," he shouted. Then there was trouble. A beehive fell and broke open. The station cleared out like magic. James heard a familiar buzzing. The bees were too cold to be cross, so they buzzed around the fireman, hoping he would mend their hive, but he didn't understand. Neither did his driver, so the bees turned to James. His boiler was nice and warm. "Buzz off," hissed James. One bee burnt his foot. "Ooh, ow, ooh, ow, ooh." The bee thought James had burnt him on purpose. So it stung James right back on the nose. "Eee!" whistled James. He had had enough. So did his driver and fireman. They didn't notice till too late that they had left their coaches behind. They tried everything to get rid of the bees. They spun him around the turntable, but to no avail. They tried washing them off, but the bees clung harder to James's warm boiler. Then they tried smoking them out by going through a long tunnel, but the bees wouldn't go away. "It's no good, James," said his driver at last. "We'll just have to go back to the orchard and fetch another hive." James's reply was drowned by buzzing. The vicar was waiting anxiously for James. When he arrived, the bees swarmed into their new home. "Come on, James," said his driver. "What you need now is a good hose down." Later, James was resting in the shed when the vicar came to see him. "Thank you for saving my bees," he said. "It's a pity it's not Christmas, though. Then we could call you James the Red-Nosed Engine." Everyone laughed, even James. But instead, they decided to call James the Bee's Knees, which means they thought he was more useful than ever.